Meet my little friend Thor. Thor. Made in England, the Thor Hammer Company. Fun little guy. Okay, so something you might have noticed about the wheels on this midget is that there aren't any lug nuts. That's because the wheels are held on with these little two-eared, or sometimes they're three-eared things. These are called knockoffs. And what they are is threaded right onto the car. So if you look at the end of the hub here, you'll see that this knockoff goes on the end, and if you can read that, it says undo right side. It's got an arrow for which way is undo, and then the reverse is tighten. So as you actually fasten these, you'll notice it screws right onto the hub. So the pressure of this knockoff holds the wheel onto the car. And so what you do is you hit them very hard with this hammer. One side is hard leather, the other side is copper. And so that keeps from damaging the knockoffs too badly. And the pressure, the clamping force of the knockoff is what actually keeps the wheel on the car. So I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like as I put one of them back on. Alright, so just like the inside of the knockoffs is or are threaded, you'll notice that there are these splines or these notches right here on the hub, and then again on the inside of the wheel. So if I get in real close, you'll be able to see those splines, and that's what actually keeps the wheel from spinning on the rim. Combine that with the clamping force from the knockoff, and you've got a pretty secure arrangement. So what I'm going to do now is put this back on the car. So I lift it into position, push it in, align the splines, push, take the knockoff, get it into place, start to tighten it down by hand. Once I've got it hand tight, I take the hammer. Again, this is the knockoff hammer, and it's got two sides. It's got the leather side and the copper side. Then I simply proceed to tighten it in the opposite direction from the undo arrow. So that means if undo is this way, then tighten is this way. And then I've taken that as far as I can with the leather, and so I switch over to the harder copper side. Then I switch ears so that I keep the wear even on the ears. And you want these nice and tight because you don't want any chance of this wheel coming off of the car. Alright, so this wheel's on the car. Something else to be aware of, again, I mentioned this says right side, the other side actually says left side. You have to make sure that these are on the correct side of the car so that the rotation of the wheel doesn't tend to untighten the knockoff. So the threads are side specific. The right side and the left side of the car are threaded opposite to one another, so that the only possible way that the motion of the wheel driving the car could do is serve to further tighten this, not loosen it. Again, on the right side of the car, I take off the knockoff by turning it the direction of the arrow. And if you can see that, undo, and the arrow, right side. So when I put it back on, I'm going to go that way. Again, I take the wheel, I pick it up, put it straight onto the hub, feel for the splines to line up, push, then I take this guy, Put it on, hold it, and wait for the threads to catch, which they now have. Get it to hand tight. Take the Thor hammer, hit it with the leather side. And then switch over to the copper. And now that I've got no more movement, we're going to call that wheel on. If you've enjoyed learning just a little bit more about knockoffs and about wheels, like the channel, subscribe, comment down below. Thanks for watching.